So we almost lost our car. We did some looking around at some other cars along the way, 300s, 200s, Rams, dual cab Utes, Chev Silverados, and yeah, this is the story. So, I guess I'll start at the start. So basically, after getting back from our Cape York trip, you wouldn't have seen much on our socials of the patrol around. What actually happened is it actually got some water ingress. Got water in the transfer case and the transmission, and later on we found out as well, the insurance company think the engine as well. So they were pretty much in the process of writing it off. So basically it's been 2 months so far, or a bit more.
Got home end of August. And
yeah, a couple of weeks later, 3 weeks later, it went in, and yeah, we're still without a car. And yeah,
will be for a lot longer.
Yeah, it's looking like probably January at the best case sort of thing, early, end of January worst case. But yeah, so it was in Mansfield and workshop there. That's where they diagnosed it with water in the transfer case, transmission, and ongoing issues there. The insurance company we're with, AAMI, wanted a second opinion, so they towed it down to their assessment centre in Cheltenham, where they'd done a bit more looking into it and stuff like that, and scoped the engine and found scoring in the bores and sludge in sort of the carbon of the intake valves and all that sort of stuff. So they were worried about water ingress into the engine at some point, whether it's from the same time the transmission and the gearbox and that got a transmission and the transfer case got it or not, or whether at a separate time, not too sure. The car is running a snorkel. The breathers are just in the standard location. I've never really had an issue with that sort of water ingress and all that other stuff, so I've never lifted them. Now I will do it going forward on any car I have, just as a precaution. So yeah, after finding out that information, the insurance company were weighing up writing it off. So yeah, we were faced with losing the car and all the hours and money we'd put into it. So it's a bit of a warning as well. If you do have your car insured, make sure you're insured for the right amount of money. In our case, full open disclosure, the patrol was insured for 90 grand, and that's sort of then what's affecting the rest of this outcome. What they then done, and what took us so long, is they then went through the car top to bottom to work out whether, yeah, definitely writing it off is the right thing to do, or fixing it. The salvage cost that they were going to get for the car, because of the agreed value, wasn't high enough for them to warrant writing it off, so they are actually going to fix it. So yeah, getting our car back.
After all that, it's been a bit of a mission. We kind of were in limbo for a while, and then I know them going over it was taking a long time, and they couldn't make a decision. So then we're like, well, in the meantime, we'll have a look around, and it's getting expensive. And then we're like, so what do we do? Yeah,
that's kind of what will bring us to the next part we're about to go into. So yeah, with that, if they were to write it off, we were stuck with the predicament of what do we get. For us, it's tricky. It's got to be able to do the forward driving we like to do, say in the high country, things like that. And also, it's got to be able to tow the van. So it needs 3.5 ton.
Yeah.
Ideally, we'd want a ute if we could get a ute. So that sort of got us thinking, I wonder if there is a dual cab out there that'll do the job for us. So yeah, with that, our first, Ash's always loved the Silverado. So she's like, I want a Silverado. Let's go look at them.
It's not about me though.
Yeah.
And also they're very big. We went and looked at one and I couldn't even see over the steering wheel, and stand at the front of it, it's over my head.
So, but in saying that, I was doing my research on it as well, and a lot of engine failures seem to be happening with those, and parts availability and after sales service. So we were precautionary on that. But another thing that steered us away, we went down to the dealership at Frankston, and we were standing there for 20, 25 minutes, waiting by the car, straight in clear view of the office. Not one person come out to see us.
No, not interested in potential sales.
Yeah.
You just never know.
So I'm pretty spontaneous. Sometimes I do stupid things, and I possibly could have brought the car that day. But then from there, we've gone, oh, well, let's go down a Ram. Yeah. It's only around the corner. And instantly, we liked the Ram way better over the Silverado, didn't we? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't drive it, but you said it was good. It was comfy. It had everything we wanted. It would have been good. Just the truck thing, it's hard. Going in the bush.
Yeah, I just think I'm going to destroy one. Mechanically wise, they seem to be pretty good, but the only issue with the 1500s is you need to do the GVM. They just don't have that payload and to do what you need to do by the time you put the gear and stuff on. So it starts to get expensive. By the time you start looking at a GVM, 20 grand, you take the tub off and have a full train canopy set up. Wheels, tyres, bull bar.
Multiple dollar signs.
Yes.
And then, it's tricky.
So we're looking at pretty much 200 grand for a Ram build. And with the 1500s, if you jump on the forums and sort of ask around for what we want to do with it, everyone just says, just go to the 2500. Yeah. It's a better car, a more solid car, better fuel economy when towing, but just a little bit too big for us and what we want to do.
I don't think it would be the right decision. It would be good in theory, but I could see it getting trashed.
Yeah, so that was almost a decision we rushed into as well, while we're like in our minds going, this car's getting written off, because for a while there when we're in limbo. Then with that, I started going, what about a smaller dual cab maybe, like your D-Maxes or your Hilux or something like that? Is there something out there that would do it for us? It's going to be cheaper for us. They're still a nice car, whatnot.
Yeah.
But then more research on that, knowing mates that have them and things like that. I think with them, anything over sort of 2.8 tonne towing, it's just not the right car. It's not safe. They don't have the power. They don't have the weight behind them. You're just asking too much out of such a small vehicle.
Yeah, and our van, it's an off-road van, so it's pretty big and it's heavy, and they say they don't tow well.
So which I've towed with a BT50 hire car that I've got, the Caravan. And just any slight movement in the van, it moves the car all over the place. So I wouldn't feel comfortable doing windy roads and things like that, or high wind days.
And you took the van 10 minutes down the road just to move it for a bit. We plan on doing some bigger trips. You just can't justify going
and
the other end of the country in a car that isn't going to tow it very well.
Yeah, correct. And again, GVMs, all that sort of stuff, they all need to be done with it. So then that got us thinking, all right, what's next? The old man has just brought a new car, so his Y62 chopped is up for sale. But obviously with what he's just brought a 2500 Ram. He's going to want to get top dollar for that, and so we should, to cover some of the gap into his new car. So with that's putting it just a little bit out of our range.
Yeah, and still kind of in the same predicament with the Patrol now. Anyway, it's not really gaining us anything except we're spending more money.
Yep. Yeah, so that was that one.
Borrowed a 200?
Yeah, so that got us onto the next one. Maybe a 200 series could be the go. With borrowing the one we used to tow up to Merimbula, it towed beautifully. There was sections where the Patrol definitely tows better. This one was standard. It was a 2011 model, 340,000 Ks, but at cruising speed, it just towed great. Some of the hills, our Patrol, it was tuned as well. It just had a bit more go, overtaking the car I went to do, and then I put my foot down, it just didn't quite move. Whereas the Patrol, I know, would have come up and gone.
But also using half a tank of fuel.
Yeah, that's right. So it was a bit more economical. The same one drive we did at Christmas, we're up at Narooma. We filled up at Can River. We were about 28 litres a 100. We filled up with this one. We were 22. Fuel economy wise, awesome. They say with a lock-up kit and a bit of a tune, they're a completely different car, which we know they are because our mate Fitzy, we went to Queensland the other year with him. He was towing a 23-foot van,
Left us for dead.
Yeah, left us for dead, especially on all hills. So that then got us looking at the Toyotas. You've got some issues with the 200s, dusting, injectors and DPF, but the Toyota have expanded their warranty to cover a lot of that sort of stuff. So yeah, that wasn't too much of an issue there with what we're looking at, because we're looking at lower Ks. But again, the price for such an older car, like if we looked at, say, a 2017 to 2019 model, anywhere from 80 to 100k for a stocker.
Yeah, same deal with the GVM again, whether it has one or doesn't have one.
Yep.
They were much quieter inside the Patrol. We all take it away now. We have to yell at each other to hear anything. But
But the front seats weren't very comfortable.
No.
We were driving to Marine and back, our lower backs were killing us.
And I like to sleep in a car, so I need a comfy seat.
So then that got us onto, well, let's go test drive the 300. So it just keeps snowballing. And it's one of those ones, if you're going to be buying a car, you've got to buy the right one. Went and test drove the 300. Beautiful, comfortable.
So comfortable.
Driving position's great. Front seats are great. A little bit noisy in the engine, but nothing like the diesel rattle, but nothing too crazy. But the downside with the 300,
the back seat, it's just so small. So we took one of the kids, the one that's in the car seat with us, and it's fine. And then we thought, we'll get in the back and sit in the car, obviously when the seat's in there, and we're not massive people anyway. And the other two kids are you've probably seen them, they're tall, and we were sort of touching shoulders like this.
Yeah, she was cramped.
Yeah, it was cramped with Reed. I think for doing a long trip, the kids are only getting bigger. The youngest is still in the car seat for another couple of years. And then the middle bit of the floor raises, so you end up with the middle person has the knees almost at their chin. And when you've got tall kids, disappointing. So it was very comfortable. It was very nice.
Yep. In the rear as well, a little bit smaller than the 200. Then this sort of brings us back around to what we were talking at the start, how the insurance company said they're going to fix our car. Yeah, brand new engine, brand new transmission, and a brand new transfer case. And then we're like, okay, do we just get it back, sell it, and buy one of these that we've been looking at? Is there one that's better? And the answer is, at the moment, I don't think so.
No.
For us, overall, it would be the 200.
Yeah, you have to find the right one that's already done, or you'd have to go and... You can't buy a brand new one, and the 300 isn't practical for us at the moment with the kit arrangement unless we decide to sell one, which I think it's illegal in Australia, so probably can't do that.
Yeah, and one thing we don't want to do at the moment is, we don't want to go get more loans for things. Basically, we've got the house loan, and everything else we own it, and we're pretty happy and comfortable there. It leaves us the cash to get away.
To go and do our trips and
have
things.
Your lifestyle. You don't want to be limited by finances, I suppose. The Patrol's coming back. It should be back in January, hopefully.
They were saying a couple of weeks, and then they said no, probably mid to late Jan.
This one's going to be costing the insurance company a fair bit. The hire car for 4 months.
Yeah.
So have that on your policy as well. Remember
car.
that if you're out without a car, you're stuffed. Especially if it drags out this long, because we're waiting on parts from Japan. So,
And obviously we've had to move the van around a couple of times. We're doing a little bit of work at home and the van's in the way. So we haven't had a tow vehicle, and you can't just go and borrow something. So that's all they could give us. They can't give you what you normally have.
They can't give you your car back, so you've got to wait for it. So hire car, all these new parts on the car. We will give the insurance company credit. They're very thorough with it, and I have had claims with them before, and every single time I've done it, it has been effortless. Your mum's with them as well.
Yeah, they're easy to deal with.
Yeah, so the insurance company's AMI, in case anyone was wondering there. So that's our story of where we're at the moment. The car's coming back. We're going to hang on to it for a bit longer.
Yeah.
We're going to see what the Y63 is when it comes out, and then maybe chop that up into a ute if it's a good thing. Or there might be something that comes out by then.
Yeah, just wait and see, or we might
just keep the Patrol, because it's a bloody good thing.
Yeah, circumstances change, and wait and see now.
All this little car shopping and research brought on by possibly losing our car, and it's coming back. We'll stick with it for a bit longer, and see where we end up.
Stuck at home for a while, I'm not doing much.
No, that's it. So So hopefully this sort of helps you with some tips and some insights if you're looking at cars as to which may be the best for you and which problems may arise with some of these things from the research we've done. But yeah, we'll be back in 2025 with the car back and a brand new engine. And
yeah, it's probably a good thing. Like, I don't think we could have made a decision had we have had to. I think it would have been very difficult, and we probably would have ended up buying something just for the interim to see obviously what happens when the Y63 comes out.
Yeah, that's it.
It would have been a get-by car for the next couple of years, because that's still a couple of years off, and then...
I reckon it was the 200 if we were going to do it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of finding the right one.
Yeah, and then change the front seats.
Nah, don't recommend.
Yeah, so that's it, and we'll wrap this video up here, and we're
See you in the new year.
Yeah, up to the high country next weekend with Sonda and taking the BT. So at least it's a cruisy one, just up to Mansfield, cruising around Craig's Hut, things like that. So luckily there I can still do that. And hopefully we'll be back doing what we love with the other car very soon.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Cheers.